Okay, another quite simple way to do this project is to use a plastic bag. We can just fill this bag with plaster and hang it. We could drape it over something. You could put something else in the bag that would be removed as long as you can get it back out. But a plastic bag works great, especially if it's a good one that is waterproof. Do not use a grocery bag. We all know that these do not hold air. That one's got a hole in it right there and a small hole in that side too. This is just gonna make a disaster. So there are some tricky things with the bags. I have two examples here. This one was just poured and then I tied a knot in it and hung it. So it hung about, as we can see. Again, when you open these, please do it over a trash can. For this demo, I'm gonna make a mess right here on the table. So one tricky thing with the bags is sometimes they can get caught in your plaster because of the wrinkles. This one is freeing itself pretty nicely for me. I'm gonna try to clean this plaster off inside the bag. And you can see I have a relatively smooth form. It's out of the way. With all these textures, you can see some of these creases, the bag wanted to stick inside of them, and I was lucky enough to get them out. I think if I had a little bit more plaster in this form, I would have had to carve to get the plastic bag back out of this. But now I have things to react to. I have this long line right here. I have all these little wrinkles and folds that I continue. If I wanted to, I could continue them up. I could continue them across this flat plane. There's all sorts of things to do with this already. I have another example. Oh, real quickly. This form, which is really interesting and has all kinds of detail, was a combination of being made with a plastic bag, which actually was a Ziploc bag, and using a cardboard form like we did in a previous demo. And I think its size is nice and a lot of detail was able to come out of it, but they were able to, as you can see, get some of the points that they wanted by using a bag much smaller than the bag I used. Here's another example of a bag that I draped over some things. This one started to have some of the problems I was talking about, that the bags can catch on things. I actually had to dismantle it some just to even get it to this room. So now as I'm removing it, you can see the bag is actually stuck inside my plaster in a couple spots. I'm just going to tear it off for the moment here. Making a plaster mess. Just move that aside for the moment. So you can see there's the textures of what I left it on when it was drying, but you can see since this one has so much more wrinkles that are really tight, I have plastic bag all stuck up in these crevices, and to get rid of that I would have to carve down in there to get it out. I can pull as much out as I want, but if I used a black plastic bag, we would really see all the plastic that's in this, and there's a lot of plastic still in some of these small crevices. Other parts of this one, I don't even know if they're exciting enough to show you. Yes, this is still going to be challenging to get out. You can see the plastic bag got all wrapped inside here too. So while the plastic bag is a very easy method of doing this, and it can have some really interesting results as far as these, it does have its pitfalls in itself. Just like the plastic bottles have the pitfall of the baggage, this has the problem of getting the bag out of your bag. All right, thank you, and we'll move on to the next one.